More orcs rampaging through the docks? Or have those infernal statues sent another soul flying to his death? Sad story, that. Though if I'm speaking plainly, the sentimental aspect of it all doesn't make much of an impression on an undertaker. Especially not these days, with so many laid low by the orcs and such like. I just concern myself with giving the remains a respectable exit from life. We set him to rest in the northern graveyard. Perhaps he can finally get a little peace. What about it? Didn't I just say we gave it a respectable send-off? Why are you giving me the 3rd degree? Now, if you don't mind, I'm trying to run a business here.
Aha. Auf dem Friedhof wurde er begraben. Vielleicht wird es Zeit für eine Exhumierung. Auf dem Friedhof.
They hustle and bustle while I sit here stagnantly and watch it all go by. Ah, the sun is out.
Hier geht's zum Friedhof.
Looks like that dog is awfully agitated.
Perhaps he wants to tell us something.
In memory of Lonely,
So many dead
death lies on
civilians.
her like an
It's an
untimely
honor to visit
frost
the fallen.
upon the
May the
sweetest
seven
flower
keep
of
you.
all the field.
Okay,
Here
das ist ja
lies
eine Deckzeit.
Memris, master of
Where are you,
philosophy.
Are you playing without me? Hey, wow! I was wondering where that awesome sweaty boot smell was coming from. And here you are.
Fußgeruch.
Wow! This is great! I'm Murphy, Jake's dog. Wow, you smell great! Have you been rolling around on dead things all day? That's my favourite hobby too. You know who I miss? Jake. Sometimes he'd just sit there being awesome. And I'd give him this look like, you smell great. And he'd give me this look like, you do too, Murphy. And he was my best friend. I came here so I could smell Jake again. He smelled great. But whatever's buried there doesn't smell like Jake at all. No, it's definitely not Jake. He was awesome. If I ever find out who killed Jake, the most awesome Jake who ever jaked, I'll bark so much. Seriously, so much. You have no idea.
Here lies Jake. Please do not disturb.
I don't have the right tool for digging.
Die Erde hier sieht aus, als ob jemand kurz im Kram hätte.
Where are you?
Schaufelhaft könnte ich
Are you
mit
here,
den
Jake?
Plätzen suchen.
Jake?
Ich geh mal buddeln. Eine Schaufel. Zeit zur Exhumation.
Where are you, Jake? Are you playing without me?
What trickery is this?
Ein
That's
Lächeln
not Jake.
Schafs.
It's a rotting sheep's corpse. It seems someone snatched Jake's body. Everything we do seems to fortify your abilities.
Jake!
Vorbild hat mich zu neuen Höhen beflügelt, die ich jemals geträumt hätte.
May the seven keep
The team hardly enjoys being confused with your massive wob.
Wenn wir schon mal dabei sind. Oh, und Tote. Nein, nicht der Hund. Wir haben den Hund getötet. Ratsam zu fliehen. Und was mit den anderen? Und Tote. Flucht fehlgeschlagen. Okay, wir sterben. Wir sind zum Arsch.
That shovel has proven worth its weight, it seems. Oh, I beg your pardon. I didn't mean to be a bother.
Wir haben auf jeden Fall ein Level up. Waffen. Verteidigung. Rüstung können wir mal ein bisschen leveln. Besseres Blutsauger. Tankfang bei allen im Prinzip für ich. Okay. Oh, Magier. Und die Armbrust nutzen. Sehr schön. Hier können wir Gestank machen, dass er weniger stinkt. Hier haben wir was herausgefunden. Jakes Sarg aus und von drinnen ein Schaf anstelle von Jakes Leiche. Also hat jemand sterbliche Überreste aus dem Staub gemacht. Wer zu und welchem Zweck? Es ist unerlässlich, wohin die Leiche des Ratsmitglieds gebracht wurde. Und wen fragen wir da? Den Hauptmann vielleicht. Das sollten wir mal mitteilen.
Sorry, sir.
You again? Oh, still not finished. I see. You've come to report a dead sheep. A heap of mutton that sailed into view upon your robbing the grave of a councillor. Lovely. Well, don't just stand there gawking like guppies. Hire yourself to Roberts the mortician. If anyone buried a sheep, obviously it was him. Well, have you found any incriminating evidence against her? If so, let's have it.
Sehr hilfreich.
Her lips and aped an air of aptitude.
Hey, Tull, I think that was an insult.
Don't pay attention to the beast, Various. You'll only encourage it.
Dann laufen wir mal wieder hier rüber. Das Bestatterhaus war hier. Das ist die Taverne. Großen Bogen Friedhof machen. Wo ist der Herr Bestatter?
So, what's the bad news? More orcs rampaging through the docks?
A sheep?
That's a whole heap of nonsense. Don't bother me with such wild tales.
Bezeugt diesen Charakter, indem ihr ihn schmeichelt, ihn einschüchtert oder ihm argumentiert. Wenn eure Wahrnehmung hoch genug ist, dann könnt ihr in Klammern sehen, welche Antwort euch den höchsten Bonus gibt. Gar nichts. Verstockt Güte, ihr erzählt mir die Wahrheit über das Schaf und ich schmeiße euch nicht zusammen mit dem Schaf ins Grab. Ich habe gehört, dass ihr ein guter Mensch seid. Dies ist Gelegenheit, eurer Gemeinde zu helfen. Erzählt uns die Wahrheit, damit derjenige, der den Leichnam fortgeschafft hat, seiner gerechten Strafe zugeführt werden kann. Sieht es ganz offensichtlich, dass ihr kurz vor der Lösung des Rätsels stehe. Wenn ihr mir nicht die Wahrheit sagt, werde ich ganz einfach eine andere Möglichkeit finden, warum das unvermeidlich herauszögern. Okay, Schere, Stein, Papier. Schere. Nicht schlecht. Na komm, Stein jetzt. Ja, nice.
Come now, there's no need for all that then. I'll tell you the story as best I know it. I buried that blasted sheep, but I swear on my lucky left foot I had nothing to do with that body disappearing. 1 minute it was on my slab, you see. I left the room for just a moment to answer the bell in the front parlor, and when I returned, the body was simply gone. In its place was a sack containing more gold coins than I could even count. The message was clear. Silence is golden. My business has been declining right alongside the rest of our blighted city. And that sack of gold was worth more than I made during one of the good years. I needed cash, and someone needed my silence. I knew I had to bury something or risk being found out. So that night, I stole into the market and made off with Bertia's fattest sheep. It was a bloody waste to stick so much fine meat into the ground to rot, but it had to be done. The next day, the pallbearers retrieved Jake's coffin, sealed to hide the body's terrible wounds, none the wiser that within the casket lay nothing more venerable than a slaughtered beast. Now, you can imagine I've spent more than my share of restless nights wondering who could have wanted that cadaver and for what purpose. I'm not an inch closer to imagining the why, but I've got a few inklings as to the who. Near as I can reckon, there are only 4 people who could have been involved. Mayor Cecil, Captain Aureus, Theleron's apprentice Evelyn, and Esmeralda.
Hauptmann selber, das wäre jetzt so wert.
Plenty of us shopkeepers entrust the mayor with the spare keys to our businesses, you know. And he's the only person in town with a second copy of the key to the mortuary. He could have used it to sidle in without a peep, if he were so inclined. Aureus himself paid me a visit the night the body was delivered. Came rapping at my door in the frosty morning before the sun had even started peeping, and told me to tell him, and only him, if I noticed anything strange or suspicious about the remains. Can't see why he'd bothered to go through all that trouble, unless he knew something the rest of us don't. I know it sounds strange suspecting the doctor's apprentice of something so ghoulish as this, but there's few in this city could manage to transport a corpse without raising eyebrows. It was she who delivered Jake's body from the inn to the mortuary, and there was something about her that night, some kind of excitement. Seemed she could barely contain her thoughts, that there was something thrilling about to happen. I can't quite settle it in my mind how a young medical professional would have such a strange reaction to an occasion such as that. And this may or may not have anything to do with the whole rigmarole. I never saw a widow less distraught at the death of her husband, and I've seen hundreds pass through my parlor. It was she who rang my bell just before the body was snatched. lured me outside claiming she needed air before discussing the funeral arrangements.
Ich würd mal mit dem Bürgermeister
Some
reden.
accomplice could have sneaked in and grabbed the remains while I was That gold's the only good thing to come out of this blasted affair. And I certainly plan on making some use of it.
Wenn ihr nicht wollt, dass sich die Legion um die Angelegenheit kümmert, und immer das Geld auf die Stelle geben. Nice, ja, wir brauchen Geld. Mist. Mist. Na komm. Schönes Gold. Stein. Nice. Papier. Verdammt. Das muss jetzt sitzen. Stein. Damn it.
Do whatever you like. I'll deny it to my last breath. And not you or anyone else can prove otherwise.
Dann eben nicht. Bürgermeisterchen.
What? Oh, it's you! What news? Jake? Murdered, you say? Oh, yes. Yes, of course. Now I remember. Well, I'm sure the facts will prove me innocent. Keep investigating. You'll see for yourselves in time.
Aha. Das war jetzt nicht unbedingt entlastend.
What? Oh, it's you! What news? That depends. What kind of berries are you? Ah, the library. Marvelous!
Bibliothek.
What? Oh, yes. This my Victoria has every... Yes. What? Oh.
In the name of Amun-Hor, I bid thee Tujda Geta Hal, be welcome, human. I am Victoria, daughter of Mayor Cecil. Oh, I know what you're thinking. The likeness isn't exactly striking, is it?
Die Tochter des Bürgermeisters.
When I was very young, you see, I must have been cast out by my tribe, for I was found in a wicker basket floating past Sicile toward the sea. The fisherman who found me would have drowned me on the spot, for I am an orc after all. But praise be Amun-Hor, dear Cecil was among the gathered crowd, and he took pity on the exiled infant that chance had put in his way. He raised me like I was his own, this kindest of souls, taught me the language of men, their customs and their letters. Thus, I became the city's librarian, a position I uphold with no small diligence and pride. Indeed you may. The wisdom I here hoard is yours to peruse and even...
I need something more advanced.
Egal, ohne Bücher.
The Encyclopedia Demonium. I know it by heart.
Esmeralda does have a propensity for all things naughty, hasn't she?
No, this isn't the grimoire I'm looking for. Is there no new book to be discovered in this library?
Oh, eine Schriftrolle.
The lesser key of Salacandras. What nonsense. The pseudomonarch omnes autem mali demones quam. What? What is this? Who are you to interrupt my musings? By Naga the Protector, they have the manners of boors, these... Oh, but perhaps I spoke too soon. Perhaps I was mistaken. For you hardly resemble the local fisher folk, which, incidentally, is a compliment of copious dimension. No. A source hunter. That is what you are. Yes, a stalker of sorcery. A chaser of charms pernicious. Why, simply because you hunt source, and I, Jehan, hunt demons. You are aware, of course, that quite often both of these pests frequent the same shadowy pools of infamy. Now, I hate what I hunt, but I respect its cunning. This is a sentiment I'm quite certain you must recognize. Let there be strength in cunning, yes, but also in numbers. To count on one condition. That on our joint travels we will never deal with demonic entities, no matter how tempting their propositions. Give me your word on this, and I'll weave you spells.
Third one gone. Shatsu. Sometimes I think these books
Agreed.
strap little legs.
Nothing good ever came from bargaining with those devils anyway.
Most gratifying.
Und das vierte Teammitglied.
I see.
Nice.
What? Oh, it's you! What news? My dear girl, my darling adopted daughter, my pride and joy. I introduced her to my library when she was a girl. She quickly proved that the preconceptions we humans hold of orcs as savage beasts are patently false. If you're looking for something special, just ask. She knows every book.
Snake.
Ja.
Buy some stir and churn.
Der Bürgermeister also. Ich meine, das ist wirklich der Hauptmann. Ich rede nochmal mit ihr. Ich wäre ein bisschen enttäuscht, wenn sie es wäre.
The hunter returns! I hope you are here to show. So, what piece of irrefutable evidence are you about to present me?
Ja. Nochmal zu dem. Wo ist der Hauptmann? Hier ist der Hauptmann. Hier ist leider keine Schnellreise möglich. Deswegen müssen wir noch mal hin und her rennen.
About face!
Can you spare a coin?
Notch!
What's the status?
Hey, Toe. I think that was an insult.
You, again. Do feel free to depart from Sicil at your earliest convenience. Yes? Discovered anything? It was stolen? Gods, what a fool that Roberts is! Taking a bribe in beleaguered old Sicil. He has a lot to answer for. But not as much as the one that did the bribing in the... Evelyn? Master Theriron's apprentice? Nice lass, huh? Brewed me a potion once that cured me of a rash more bothersome than a badger down your breeches. No, she doesn't seem like the type to play hide and seek with stiffs to me.
Wo finde ich denn die Eva Maria? Eva Maria, oder was?
You dare stand here and accuse me of involvement in this sordid affair? You dare accuse a captain of the Legion? Get out! Out!
Ah ja.
Back to do you.
Ah, now I pulled her off you before she could do any real damage.
Any real damage? Are you joking? I've been mauled. I'll be disfigured.
Their daughter remains silent, but
Back to do. Greetings! These stalls are for our legion.
Koch Morris.
I'm warm as fresh apple pie.
Beyond these walls, the dead roam.
Hier. Charlene. Ist das hier die Tavernenbesitzung?
Have you ever had the fortune of challenging the fabled wizard of Hunter's Edge?
Fortune?
No. Herzog.
They say he's privy to ancient and arcane.
Ah, hello. I suppose you're here to viciously interrogate me for information. Yes, she and I have a history. That's hardly a secret anymore. I quite doubt it was even a secret from Jake while he lived. As easy as it would be to pin suspicions on Esmeralda or I assure you that the affair was never so steamy and sordid as the busybodies around town make it out to be. Jake and Esmeralda had no great affection for each other. He had his interests, she had hers, and there was little passion left between them. Certainly not enough to fuel a murder. Which one? I've written Esmeralda more works of lyrical mastery than I can count. All that letter proves. Which one? I've written Esmeralda more works of lyrical mastery than I can. It's very tragic news.
Okay. Da wissen wir nicht mehr. Leichenhalle. Wo könnte man denn diese...
The sun is out, and yet I feel a cold inside my soul.
Von Maria finden.
Bad? Hey, would be quite a bit better if I could do it in peace. Just making conversation, mate. Mate.